8:30 tonight, so we'll keep you posted on that.
Well, let's hope he finds his dad safe and sound. Well, that's all we can say. Not only is Henry Rossoff on the scene, but Jeremy Ross is there as well. We want to check in with him. He's got the very latest from his vantage point down there in Oak Creek.
Most definitely deemed a terrible day here in Oak Creek. Approximately an hour ago during a news conference, law enforcement crediting local law enforcement with stemming this lethal threat, essentially saying that the person who shot this gunman prevented additional bloodshed. And in this particular situation, that is exactly what these officers have been trained to do. The FBI, the ATF, now part of this ongoing investigation. And for now, we should say that a house of worship is now for the moment being called a crime scene. The only people, for the most part, going in and out are investigators. Heavily armed officers gather outside the scene of a multiple shooting that took place inside and outside of Oak Creek's Sikh Temple of Wisconsin. Law enforcement received multiple 911 calls around 10:25 Sunday morning. Police say a 20-year veteran of the Oak Creek Police Department exchanged fire with the shooter. The officer was struck multiple times, and the gunman later died from another officer's fire. Flight for Life took to the air, and family members gathered on the ground, desperately trying to contact loved ones who could be inside.
I called on his phone. Then somebody else answered the phone that he got shot.
Somebody just called me from inside. My kids are inside.
Some were contacted by panicked relatives inside the temple, hiding in a pantry or closet, warning worshippers about the violence.
Yeah, they called us. They called us not to come into Gurdwara, not to come to church.
Police say at least 9 were shot, 7 were killed, including the shooter.
A couple people got shot in parking lot.
At least 10 were shot, 7 were killed, including the shooter. As dozens watch and wait and hope their loved ones can make it through this terrible scene.
He's crying, you know, he's in a lot of pain, but I don't know where he got shot, but he got shot.
Now, police believe that there was only one shooter involved, though they do tell us that they are making additional efforts just to double check. Now, we should point out that it is possible that we may never know the gunman's real motive involved in this. Not a lot of details on the victims in terms of their age, their sex, but we are being told that both young and old were inside the temple at the time of this incident. We're live in Oak Creek. Jeremy Ross, Fox 6 News.
Hey, Jeremy, before we get to some important information for our viewers, need to ask you, the woman that you talked to earlier who said her kids were inside the temple, do we know if she was reunited with them?
Unfortunately, Mary, we do not.
Okay. All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. We have some information to pass on to you. As we had said before, there are friends and families of the Sikh Temple hotline. We are told